So what do you envision for the future of tribal colleges?
I think that our tribal colleges will just continue to grow, and we will probably add many more tribal colleges. I think that in terms of growth, we'll see that many of our TCUs will grow beyond two-year institutions, though some may remain two-year institutions because that might be what the community needs. But many will probably grow. We'll have more that are offering four-year programs, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and I think that it's not unfathomable that we'll see TCUs offering PhDs in the future, and I think maybe not the too distant future. I think that's a very reasonable expectation for what might be coming down the road. I think that we will see our tribal colleges continue to emerge in areas of research, that they will become more and more engaged in producing research, and that with that we'll see these will be the institutions that will enact what many of us as Native and Indigenous scholars have been pushing for, that Native research, Indigenous methodologies, Indigenous research paradigm, research that is done for and by the communities that in which this research is located. So I think we'll see tribal colleges be a little more active in that area. I think that they will continue to develop programs to meet the needs of their communities. I think that they are a shining example of self-determination for tribes, in tribes determining what is best for them, what their needs are, and how to best meet their needs. And they will continue to do that through these educational institutions. And TCUs will develop the programs that they need to meet the employment needs, the economic development needs, the governance needs of their tribes, the social health, all of those aspects. They'll continue to meet the needs of their tribes and surrounding areas. And I think that they will continue to be a source for Native students. Though the majority of Native students are in four-year institutions, I think we have about 7% are actually of all Native students who are enrolled in tribal colleges. I think we may see that number grow, but they serve a very specific purpose, and I think that we will see a little more recognition of what that purpose is and how TCUs can really serve Native students. And I'm hoping that we'll see many more partnerships between non-Native colleges and universities and tribal colleges. That we'll see those partnerships that really allow for us to serve Native students, to serve that transition, to serve their needs, but also those partnerships that will help to serve TCUs and the tribal communities that they represent. I think that there are a lot of people, particularly through the American Indian Higher Education Consortium, through AHEC, the National Indian Education Association, who really are advocating on behalf of tribal colleges. Funding continues to be an issue for tribal colleges. They are severely underfunded, and we have to think about their unique status. So where most of our institutions receive some kind of state funding, tribal colleges aren't eligible for that. So the majority is coming from federal funding, which has been, honestly, they've been underfunded from a federal perspective from the beginning, and they continue to be underfunded. So I think as we see this understanding of what tribal colleges really do, what they offer, how important they are to the communities in which they're located, and with the advocacy work of some of these key groups that are advocating on behalf of tribal colleges and Native education, the hope is that they will receive even more support and resources, and that they'll actually receive the resources that they need to do the jobs that they're doing with our students.